Good evening on this pleasant evening of Sunday 25th of May 2025. The church here is St Peter Hungate. Now, if you've watched my videos before, last time I took you on down here, I took you on a New Year's Day evening walk, 1st of January 2024, and it was dark, but it was 6 o'clock in the evening, and I thought, well, let's have a brief video of Elm Hill in early summertime. Summertime to me is June through to about late August. Just move on the cobblestones. Here we have the Britain's Arms, the only survivor of the fire of Elm Hill in the early 16th century. Why is it called Elm Hill? Because there were trees, elm trees. That's the only tree left in Elm Hill now, and the seats that were at the bottom have been taken away, no doubt for safety reasons. And here is the Blackfriars Hall, which is being refurbished, and the latter part, St Andrew's Hall, Britain's Arms. We head down Elm Hill. Like I said, a pleasant walk. I might be able to take you to the Jubilee Garden, the Silver Jubilee Garden, 1977. And here is the teddy bear shop. And last time the guest was Sooty and Paddington. Here's Paddington Bear. And where Sooty's gone, I don't know. But it seems that I think that's the same Paddington Bear from last time. Plenty of what they call stiff bears. And very nice. We have a dog walker coming down here. I'm wondering if he, and this rather creamy coloured building is Paston House, the fire of 1507. There we are, the Paston letters. Present house was built by Augustine Stewart.
Lovely.
Three times mayor of Norwich, or 3 times mayor, something like that. Here is after the fire. It was destroyed in 1507. Augustine Stewart also made the house, which is rather lopsided, on the trimland opposite the Erpingham Gate. Let's cross. I'll take you into the Silver Jubilee Garden for a brief visit, then we'll return via the way we've just come and show you the courtyard. There's as you can see. I'm just going to pause the video for a moment. We continue. That's the, as you can see, the monastery, the former monastery, the tech, and there's several people sat here. I'll try and avoid getting people on film. And it's a delightful place. We're at a turn in the river. Up here, Friar's Quay, and you can see the canoes of the company there, and there is the St George's Bridge ahead of you. I don't quite know who runs this. I think it's called Pub and Paddle or something like that, or Paddle and Pub. The squawks or the hoots of the geese. Let me just move it in. Oh, I can hear someone playing Chuck Berry, or trying to. The Mischief Tavern ahead, and of course what would be on the right is the Ribs of Beef. Two pubs either side of the Fye Bridge. Fye being F-Y-E. Now why anyone's got a fire going, it must be a lamp or some sort of thing which they have. Very good. We'll just walk up this area, walk up this alley. This place has been shut off for many years. It's a very historical place. The church is St Simon and Jude. Saint Simon and Jude, and we'll go just up the hill briefly, so you can see it from the other side. A lovely business called Courtyard Cafe. Stoned and hammered. I don't want to get the chap on the video. So we have the hairdressing salon, John Oliver's, and Wright's Court. I think it's Wright's Court. Yes, Wright's Court. As you can see, it's only remaining example of a residential court lead North Elm Hill, and only a handful survive. These courts or yards were a common form of habitation for working people in the city from the medieval times till around 100 years ago. Many were demolished during the slum clearance. Several families lived in each house, sharing one pump and a privy. A privy meaning the toilet. And it's hard to, as I said in my previous video, that this area could have been demolished and made way for an outdoor swimming pool, of all places. And it was only the Lord Mayor's vote, because it ended equal, and it was the Lord Mayor's vote that won the day and saved this lovely street, Elm Hill. It has appeared in movies and other things. There's the glass house ahead, which, like last time, will be my destination for this evening. If the security officer wants to know what's in my bag, well, I've got strawberries and I've got fruit crumble, which is for Tuesday after Slimming World. Must be a good boy, as my carer would say. And that's up towards the Erpingham Gate, and we might as well head down Wensum Street. It is Wensum Street, not Magdalen Street. Let me just say that again. It is Wensum Street. This is not Magdalen Street. Magdalen Street is ahead of you at the junction with Colgate. And we go through another street in about a minute or so from now. We just pass a lovely cafe style place. And this is Fye Bridge. Of course, it's on Fye, F-Y-E, Fye Bridge Street, where the ducking stool was. And it wasn't just women who were ducked, it was men as well. But was specifically for women, there was a problem. Sounds like some good music there. That's also a tribute group. Sounds like they're doing their own variation of Goodnight Sweetheart. It's not Al Bowley's version. And we look towards the river. And as I was saying, the Mischief Tavern, the ducking stall. Now, if a woman was ducked and she drowned, she was innocent, but she died. If she survived, she was known to have exotic powers or powers of the devil, and she survived. She would have been hung. She would have been hung in any case. This is Friars Quay. We'll just go down here for a few minutes. Friars Quay. I'd be very careful, sir. Cyclist. Looks about 90. If he can hold a bike, but I don't think he should be riding a road style bike at 90. It's bad enough having 40 years old on road style bikes, let alone 90-year-olds. Be very careful with that. Up ahead is Whitefriars Bridge and the big James's Mill. Let me just increase that. There we go. I'll just go back again. And we head, and there's the ribs of beef. Yes. I don't know, he looked about 80 or 90. Some of them are 40 odd and couldn't ride a bike if they tried. But this chap has probably rode a bike since he was 10, so would it be about 1945? If he's younger than that, well, and he watches the video, he's probably qualified, riding a bike for over 80 years. Yes, but I've always been of the impression that cyclists should be licensed. Their bike should be taxed, their bike should be insured. Because the amount of crashes on bikes is unbelievable. And the amount of accidents, road accidents, RTAs caused by careless cycling It's more than you think.
It's not there anymore.
We can tell it's half term. Right. I'm not going to head to the glass house just yet because the weather is pleasant. It's not cold. I shall head to the glass house in about 15-20 minutes. What are we doing?
Not in there, are they?
Where the fuck are you?
Yeah.
St Simon and Jude. Busier than it should really be. But then again, it is a bank holiday Monday. You'll probably have kids in there till 9 o'clock. Here we have the Maid's Head Hotel and the historical Maid's Head Bar. Don't get me going on kids being in licensed premises. Under 18s being in licensed premises. Alright, if they serve food, yes. Have them in till about 6 or 7 o'clock, no later. But if they don't serve food, don't have them in at all. Just thought I'd show you the motorcyclist making trying to drive not as fast as he could, but as loud as he can. There's the Louis Marchese. Louis Marchese is the founder of the Round Table for Norwich, or the Round Table. And as we head towards the Tombland area, there is Palace Street. I'll show you I'll get over here first. The Maid's Head Hotel. And there's the Maid's Head. Let me just show it to you again. Queen Elizabeth I did not stay there. She stayed in the Bishop's Palace, which was, I believe, on Duke Street at the time. But she did bring something called the plague. Now, I'm just going to sit here for a minute and show you something. Now, ahead of you is Samson and Hercules. Now, this used to be two clubs. Highs, Ritzy on the right and Fifth Avenue on the left. I said Highs. I'm not exactly sure where Highs was. And that lopsided house there is Augustine Stewart House, and the tower is St George's Tombland. We're now going through... Oh, I'm on camera. He's on camera then. We're now going through the Thomas Erpingham Gate, which was constructed after the Battle of Agincourt in the oh my word, the war with the French. And it's his arrows, his soldiers, who used the famous bow and arrow archers, and it's his famous archers which took care of a vastly overwhelming French force in 1415 under Henry V. Now, here is the west end of the Cathedral Church of the Holy and Undivided Trinity. It's and this is the upper close, and we can just turn and you can see the school, because it was a school at one time where Lord Nelson went to school, and here he is. This is Admiral Lord Nelson, and this statue right over the other side is Wellington, who won the Battle of Waterloo 10 years after Nelson's victory at Trafalgar. Lord Wellington, this is Nelson, and of course he's got his back. He's got his back to Wellington, he's not facing him. Nelson, they didn't get on. One thing about Nelson was he approved at one time he approved the slave trade, and I don't know whether he recanted in time. He died before the abolition of the slave trade, but as you can see, there we are. Norwich's Cathedral of 1096, opened in 1141. That tells me it's 8:30. 8:30 in the evening. This rather gruesome figure is supposed to be the Virgin Mary, holding the baby Jesus. And ahead of you, near the arched roof, is Wellington, who won the Battle of Waterloo in 1815. Only fair to him that I shall show you. That's the Ethelbert Gate into Tombland, and we'll continue walking. Yes. Interesting. I hope you find this walk interesting. Unlike my last walk, which, well, it didn't cover this area. It was well, the walk in the Tombland general area, Elm Hill. It was dark and you couldn't see much. I've still got plenty of views. Now I've got over 100 subscribers. My walk round Angus Square, last time I looked, had 40 odd views. There's Paddington on the seat, plenty of people round. I've never yet been able to get him on my own. I've only tried three times though. And here is Wellington. Not Admiral, but Lord Wellington. And he used to be in the marketplace at one time. Let's give him a close-up view. He and Nelson didn't get on. But there's Lord Wellington. War. I believe no, what was I going to say? That's another fly that's just crashed into me. So Ethelbert Gate Oh, maybe I can get Paddington to myself. I won't pause the video because we can see the lovely architecture of the close. Another cyclist who thinks he's a cannon driver. I wonder what his conscience would be like if his backfiring caused someone to have a fatal seizure. I wonder what would the idiot have? What would it be on his conscience that he'd caused a fatal seizure? Oh, what's the ideal punishment? Lifetime ban. You lose your license. Lose your license permanently. You're never able to drive again because you know you caused the death of someone. But back to a happier subject. Here is Paddington in Peru. And I'm going to... I can't do a selfie, but I can show you Paddington here. I'll just do a landscape. Well, not a landscape, but
in this cathedral street. He's all right when he's in my room.
There's Doggy and pretzels, and of course, going on down, I finished my video with Paddington on the side, staring out at the litter bin while focusing on his sandwich. So, I hope you've enjoyed this walk, and see you on the next one.